All right, here we go. Yeah, sorry about that. The only other thing I can think of if it happens again is I'm gonna have to turn my mobile hotspot on. But again, thanks for everybody coming back here. Thanks, Sydney. Alright, so we're gonna just roll right back into this here. We'll pick up the pace. Oh man, I forgot I was about ready to have to brake. And we're gonna have to kind of nudge Kurt Busch out of the way there accidentally. Alright, try to get back into rhythm again. I don't like pausing it, but yeah, you guys obviously lost, not audio footage, I guess, but video footage. So we're halfway through stage 1, only on lap 50. If it happens again throughout the course of the night, I'm just going to have to keep starting other streams. This isn't the first time we've had an issue with this. It's the first time we had that kind of an issue before it booted me off the network, but yeah, like I said, it's been going on for about a month now. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. I've noticed other people's streams have been doing the same thing too, though. Just booting them off and they're getting disconnected quite a bit. I think it's just because there's a lot of people on the not only PlayStation Network services, but just internet service in general. It's been kind of slow lately. So we just took our first lead of the race on Brad Keselowski the last lap. Again, the only other thing I could do if we lose connection again is gonna have to be, I'm gonna have to turn my mobile hotspot on my phone, which unfortunately would drain my battery on my phone quite a bit. So there might be a chance I might not be able to look at the chat, or at least after a little bit not be able to look at the chat in order to keep this stream running. But again, we're leading our first laps of the race here. We took the lead just about 3 laps ago already now from our teammate Keselowski. Kurt Busch up to 3rd, Harvick 4th, and Boyer, who led some laps early, has fallen back to 5th. We definitely wouldn't have taken the lead this early if we stayed green, but we had that one caution come out on lap 40 and kind of bunched the field back up again. So that definitely helped us out. About to catch lap traffic once again. Adele, how's it going? Oh man, Stenhouse just pulled down in front of us as we were going to take it to the inside of Castle as we did. I was hoping to get Stenhouse too, but couldn't get him there, but now to the outside. Man, Kyle Larson off to a rough start in this one all the way back to 30th. And he is now 2 laps down. At least, maybe 3. Yeah, just another reason I want things to go back to normal, just so we get these streams up and running too. Have better video quality. Because unfortunately we haven't had a lot of it as of late. Yeah, I want to say this is the third full-length race in the last, I think, since Friday. Yeah, because I think it first happened in the Southern 500 that we had ran on Friday. So this is now the third race in the last 4 days that had an issue with the network, that it's just completely booted me off in the middle of a stream, which sucks because it cuts into my viewership and it disrupts you guys, and it wastes more time because it just prolongs everything a little bit longer. So again, I apologize, but there's just nothing I can do about it. Already only 35 laps left in the opening stage, though. The laps that we are able to run without any interruption, we are flying by. Just hoping we can get to the end of the stage before we get a caution. Got about a 6-second lead on Keselowski. Definitely our largest lead of the race, and it is growing in the midst of the lap traffic. We're getting through these lap cars pretty good for the most part. Did not expect to perform this well at Richmond, I'm not going to lie. Especially after the qualifying effort. Not our best by any means. Started 31st. Took us a little bit to get going through the pack. Once we got to the top 10, it's been kind of smooth sailing from there. Just ran our fastest lap of the race at 21.073. Our fastest lap ran in the race so far is 69 laps on these tires. Granted, we had a caution thrown in there for about 4 caution laps, but still, that is just crazy. Andrew, welcome back. So 15 drivers now on the lead lap. Ryan Newman, the final driver in the lead lap, trying to cling on as long as he can. Barely above the cut line coming into this race by a couple points. Oh man, into the side of the 51 as the car just jumped up the track through turns 3 and 4. Now to the outside of Newman. And we're going to get around him and clear him into turns 1 and 2. Landon Castle, Eric Jones. Further ahead, we're catching Joey Logano, who led all those laps earlier in the race, has fallen outside the top 10. He's in 13th. Going 3 wide now with Denny Hamlin, Ty Dillon squeezed in the middle. Very, very heavy lap traffic again. Just in front of us, loose off of turn number 4. Logano still kind of blocked in. And now so is Hamlin behind Cody Ware. Will put him a lap down. Hamlin, a pretty good short track racer, has won at Richmond a couple times in his career. Just a great short track racer. Again, trying to put as many drivers a lap down before the end of the stage as possible. Kyle Larson, David Reagan around us. Almost into the side of the 42. Said Suarez is on pit road. Yeah, I didn't notice somebody was on pit road until you mentioned that. Huge playoff implications if it is Suarez, because obviously he was on the outside of the cut line by a couple points coming into this race. So if Suarez is out, no, but it looks like Corey LaJoie in the 32. Yeah, Suarez is right in front of us. Suarez is in 8th. So Corey LaJoie is the first driver exited from this race. And now Suarez going for Kyle Busch for position 3 wide. Got tight for a moment as we try to squeeze on by. And now Suarez is going to drop a lap down. But he does move past Kyle Busch for 7th. Suarez currently the first driver, 1 lap down. Trying to fight for the free pass spot. Still 22 to go in stage 1. Again, I'm hoping we stay green to the end of the stage, because if we get a caution, I don't think we're going to be good enough on the short run to hang with these guys. $20 to go in stage 1. I could short pit, but I would lose the lead. So I definitely want to keep the lead here. We can make it to the end of the stage on tires easily. No issue, really. We're just going to stay out and collect our playoff point. Might as well. Everybody's going to have to hit pit road. Plus, if we were to take 2 tires, we just have to pit for 4 anyway at the stage break. So might as well pit all at once. If a caution comes out before the end of the stage, we'll probably pit then. I'd have to imagine most of the field would as well. Now to the outside, 3 wide. Kind of brushed the wall a little bit there, trying to get around Almirola, who is not having a good day once again. Eric Almirola finished outside the top 20 in the last race. He's also below the cut line. Now he's outside of the top 20 in this race too. Not a good start to the playoffs for him. As we close in on Alex Bowman, who had a great race at Vegas last night. Having another stellar performance inside the top 10 here tonight. Oh, really loose off of turn 2 that time. Had to really get out of the gas about halfway down the straightaway just to keep from overcorrecting the car. Grip level definitely going away, but we got to push through it to the end of the stage. Clint Boyer very close to going a lap down. And you can see Harvick in the 4 car not too far ahead, and Kurt Busch is directly in front of where Harvick's at as well. So all 3 of these guys could be in danger of going a lap down. Boyer is there. A little contact now getting into turn 1, and we're going to pass him. Definitely accidental contact. Just kind of slid up the track as he slid up, and we slid up into him. About 16.5 seconds ahead of... Yeah, this car's definitely getting hard to handle on these older tires. Line, especially when we're alongside somebody in the middle of a corner. Big run down to the inside of Harvick. Taking a nice deep dive. We're going to clear him off of turn 4. Now only 3 drivers on the lead lap. Still got a little ways before we catch Keselowski. But Kurt Busch not too far ahead of us. Ten laps to go now in stage 1. Nine to go. Kurt Busch going to go a lap down. Now can we catch Keselowski? Oh man, really loose again off of turn 2. Able to hang on in front of the 1 car. We're going to keep him from getting his lap back. But we got a few more lap cars here in between us and the 2 up ahead. 8 to go. Got some ground to cover, but we can definitely get up there. This car's just shaking around like crazy. Yep, definitely got to lap as many guys as we can at this point. If we can lap everyone before the end of the stage, that would be awesome. Granted, 1 driver will get the free pass, which if we do put Keselowski a lap down, it'll definitely be Keselowski, but Harvick and Kurt Busch are battling back behind us, and Kurt's actually pulling away from Harvick a little bit with 6 to go now. And a lot of guys going 2 laps down to the playoff drivers, Newman and Logano right there. Did not see this coming out of Joey. He was leading a lot of laps before that first and only caution of the race so far. It was already over 60 laps, or almost 60 laps ago. We're catching Keselowski, but I don't know if we're catching him fast enough. It's going to be close. How much more is he going to get held up by the lap traffic, and how quickly can we get around the lap cars that are still in between us? 4 to go. Hamlin's up there too. He might go 2 laps down. At arguably our worst track on the circuit, that caution definitely helped us out halfway through the stage. Would have taken a lot longer just to get to the lead. Now with 3 laps to go, we're looking at trying to put everybody a lap down as we close in on Keselowski to his inside. Side by side with the 2 Penske teammates, but he got a better drive off the exit of the corner. We're going to dive it into turn 3 now to his inside again. We're going to clear Keselowski off of turn 4. At the line, only 2 to go. Now we just got to stay in front of him. Hamlin trying to go up the middle. Nowhere to go for Keselowski as they're 3 wide in front of him. Almirola goes another lap down in stage 1. And our right front's just now starting to get really warm, but the white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go now in the opening stage of the race. Looks like we're going to get a playoff point here for the 12. Kyle Busch might go 2 laps down now as well. He will at the line. And just like that, Ryan Blaney dominates the finish of stage 1 at Richmond. Did not see that coming. That is for sure. Jose Sanchez, how's it going? Yeah, we definitely wouldn't have won this stage by this much if we didn't get that caution. We wouldn't have lapped half as many guys either. But that definitely helped us out. I'll take it. Keselowski will get the free pass at the stage break here. We'll pit 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. We'll repair damage. Currently got 10 people watching. Again, thanks for everybody tuning in here tonight. Be sure, if you're not already subscribed, to subscribe for more daily NASCAR content such as full race live streams as you are currently seeing here tonight on the channel with a live realistic broadcast. So nobody's going to stay out to try and take the waiver out of the lead lap. Smart that everybody's going to pit at the stage break. And again, it takes 30 to 40 laps for a car to be faster than everybody else, so we're probably going to get brake trained right on this restart. So you're going to see a lot of guys try to get their laps back. Green flag in the air. We'll see how long we can hold on for. I don't think it's going to be very long, but you never know. 96 to go here in stage 2. We had 1 caution in the opening stage on lap 40, and that was it. Oh, 3 wide now behind us. Not only for the free pass position, but again, everybody trying to get their laps back and maybe hope for a quick caution. And they're right back in the battle for the lead once again. which they could very well be over the course of this race. Harvick, Kurt Busch still side by side, blocking left and right on the racetrack. Doing whatever we can to hold these guys back, trying to beat Kurt back to the gas again, and again, barely clearing him off of turn 4. Trying to pull out our best blocking efforts as possible. Now we slide up the track, and that's going to allow Harvick to get to the inside. And this is not where we want to be on the outside going into the corner. Now we're about to get freight trained. Bowman's going to get underneath. Hemrick is in the mix. Look at him trying to battle for a top 5 spot as we're going to try to cross over the 88 of Bowman now through turns 1 and 2. An unbelievable move. And now they were 3 wide behind us for a moment there, and we were able to cross over Bowman to get him back. Hemrick in the mix, and look at him go, non-playoff driver in 4th, trying to get his lap back at this point. And again, we're stuck on the outside. Boyer squeezing his nose in there. Kurt Busch probably going to want to follow behind. Oh, tried to squeeze in. I just couldn't do it. Kurt Busch was there also. Now we could squeeze in. Bowman still held a lap down currently. And remember, Keselowski started at the rear of the field, and it looks like he's already working his way through. Slowly slipping back. We might find each other in the middle sooner rather than later. All right, Holden, thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you again tomorrow night. Oh, man. Really loose all of a sudden there, even though we have fresher tires. And Bowman is just fading back through the field. I'm not going to lie, we're hanging in here on the short run. These guys ahead of us aren't really pulling away from us, at least not yet. Barely going to block off Hamlin down the front stretch. Oh, slipping up the track. Denny going to get to the inside, and he's going to get around us likely. Denny is 2 laps down, though, instead of 1, so he's now going to be 1 lap down, I guess, now that he's gotten around us. And now we've got a big gap before the next couple lap cars. Suarez and Newman are side by side behind us. So we got a little bit of breathing room for really the first time since the restart. Oh boy. All right, nice. Yeah, kudos to anybody that could stay for the entire race tomorrow. Again, we're running the Coca-Cola 600, and it's going to be on the toughest season in NASCAR video game history. That's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, 600 miles, so the odds of us going the whole length with no cautions, obviously, and not getting involved in an accident of some sort is probably going to be difficult, but we'll hope for the best. But again, that's tomorrow night. We've got business to deal with here on this regular Cup Series season here tonight as we are playoff racing at Richmond. Keselowski's closing the gap. Interval-wise, he's not really closing in on us. He's about 4.5 to 5 seconds, probably closer to 5 seconds back now. But he's got a lot more traffic to obviously deal with, and he is working through them pretty quickly for the most part. He is just coming off of turn 2 as we are getting into 3. Yeah, again, we've only lapped this many drivers because of the way the caution played out in the last stage. Came out on lap 40 when we were in 6th place. And we weren't really close to the lead. We were still over 5 seconds back of Logano at the time. But when the caution came out, it bunched the field back up, and we were in the lead within about 10 to 15 laps off the restart. Because again, it takes 30 to 40 laps around this track for us to become actually faster than everybody else. And Richmond's usually one of my worst tracks on this game too. Part of why we're using the controller here tonight, try to keep the car steady as we can. We've got a little bit looser setup. It's definitely helping us on speed, but handling is not the greatest here tonight. It has been a battle from the drop of the green flag to start this race. All right, thanks, Sydney. So Daniel Hemrick, he's closing the gap back on us. Joey Logano not far behind him, driving it deep into turn 1 now, trying to get around Clint Boyer. We're still side by side with him. His lap cars ahead of us are going to catch the back marker cars at the rear of the field now. Keselowski about 5.5 seconds back now, but again, a lot less cars in between us. At least for now, but now that we're catching the back marker cars, there's probably going to be more and more cars added per lap in between the two of us. It's just a matter of how quickly we can get through them. So far, so good. We have put Kurt Busch a lap down again, and once we get around Harvick, we'll be back to just me and Keselowski on the lead lap again. So drive it in deep into turn number 1, trying to get it to stick, and we will. Hamlin looked like he was going to try to go up the middle and just couldn't gas it off the exit of the corner, and now we're 3 wide on the bottom. Matt Tifft, Cody Ware to the outside, 3 wide behind us. Kurt Busch just followed us right on through. Hamlin still stuck on the outside right behind all of them. Now a quarter of the way through stage 2. The end of the stage will be halfway home here tonight. By the time we got done with qualifying, we started this race just after 8:30, but we're not quite going on an hour elapsed time because, again, this is our second stream for this race tonight because of the issues we had in the first one. I guess we had a black screen, and then when I was trying to fix it, the network disconnected on me, so we had to start a whole nother stream, but it looks like we got most of the viewers back, if not all, and then some. So again, I thank you for that. Unfortunately, it will not be all added onto the same video for my sake with the viewership, but again, hopefully things will be back to normal sooner rather than later, and we won't have to worry about this again. Yeah, it might be a while before we even catch or even think about catching Keselowski to put him a lap down. He's only about a quarter of a track behind us or so. Maybe more like a third, but still. We'll alternate through the cameras now for the first time here tonight. Top 5, all full of playoff drivers. You saw that for most of the race at Richmond, or sorry, at Vegas last night as well, where you just saw quite a few drivers that were in the playoffs consistently in the top 10 throughout of the 16 driver playoff field. Oh, wow, David Reagan about pulled down in front of us. It was a close one. Gave us just enough room, though, for us to get around him cleanly. Oh, into the wall slightly off the exit of turn 2. It might have looked like a harder hit than what it actually was, but we got out of the gas quite a bit, which is why we slowed down quite a bit before we had even hit the wall. Now we got to get back around Kyle Larson again. One of the few mistakes we've made tonight, but all of them have been minimal at best, which is why we have the lead at this point in the race. Also why we won stage 1, and we're looking like we could be on our way to winning stage 2 as well. But this is definitely going to be a fun week on the channel. It already has. We had a pretty good showing last night at Vegas. Pretty good race. So far here tonight, a little lackluster compared to the Vegas race, but things could definitely heat up. We've definitely got a decent ways to go lengthwise before we get to the finish here tonight. Didn't think we were going to stick that corner off at turn 4. We got really loose again. Left side tires are almost connected to that yellow line. Definitely want to get as close as you can to the yellow line without touching it. Fastest way around this racetrack. Kind of like we did in turns 3 and 4 there. We slide up the track, barely kept it off the wall, and it's going to carry us a ton of speed into turn 1. We got another heavy bunch of lap traffic up ahead. Looks like they're 3 wide off the exit of 4 up ahead of us. That's going to be very heavy lap traffic when we get there. Nowhere to go as we're just kind of stuck right behind him. Caution. I don't really know if I have like a favorite food. That's an interesting question. I don't know. I'm just a food lover in general. I just like, I'll eat basically anything. Very few things I don't like. Not a big fan of onions. I can pass on some onions. So we're going to hit pit road here. Going to give up the lead. Keselowski is going to come out as the race leader. Hey King, how's it going? PS4 Sports Network, how's it going? Green flag is in the air here at Richmond. Brad Keselowski leads the field to the green. Kurt Busch got the free pass under the caution. Keselowski stayed out of the pits, so we've got 4 fresh tires. We had a couple drivers that were a lap down that also had pit as we try to clear Harvick, and we will. And now Keselowski goes a little high. Harvick might be on fresher tires. I don't know as we kind of poke right now. 3 wide. A little contact with the 4. Keselowski holding on pretty well for now, but I don't know how long that's going to hold up for. So we try to get around the outside of Keselowski. Brad doing a good job holding the bottom as best as he can. Gonna beat him to the line that time. Can we beat him into turn number 1? Yes, we will. All clear. Ryan Blaney back out in front once again here at Richmond. That was only our second caution of the race for incident. And it came just less than 40 laps into this stage. Roughly right about the same place stage-wise is what the very first caution of the race came out back at stage 1. I believe Kurt Busch stayed out of the pits as well, even though he took the free pass. So that was a little interesting. It looks like Landon Castle's the other driver that is out of this race who had brought out the last caution. So 2 cautions, 2 DNFs, both of them non-playoff drivers, and we're at the rear of the field anyway, so not really a big difference maker as far as a potential outcome in this race. You know, I don't really have many suggestions, PS4 Sports Network. I don't know, because we actually had an issue with that earlier tonight where my screen went black and we also got disconnected. I think it's just because of how many people are on the servers in general, not just with PlayStation, but just internet service anywhere. Has been really low, and I think it's just because of the amount of people using it, because a lot of people have been at home during the pandemic as of late. They're starting to open businesses back up slowly, at least here in Ohio, so maybe things look better for my sake, but yeah, I'm not sure how much longer this is going to last. It'll probably just flow along with the pandemic. As people are starting to go back to work and the internet's not being used as much, I think it'll be a little bit better. But yeah, we've had streams cut out on us. Tonight was the 3rd time since Friday we've had a stream cut out on us. And that's why it's been lagging as well as of late, as I've gotten comments in the comment section the last couple of streams about it. But yep, it's pretty much just every YouTuber at this point that wants to stream that's kind of having to deal with it. No matter how big or small your channel is. So even though we have roughly 40 lap pressure tires on our car than Keselowski, he's still only about 5.5 seconds behind us. So kudos to Brad, having a fast car, running his line about as best as he can to somewhat hold on. Kurt Busch as well had to restart at the rear of the field, and he's only 12.5 seconds back, so not bad for him as well. And Kurt obviously is stuck back in traffic, and I think he's on older tires too. Yeah, there was I definitely wish you good luck on that, Sydney, especially because I'm trying to think what morning it was. I think it was the same morning I went to do the my Southern 500, and I couldn't get the I was going to live stream an episode, and it wouldn't even connect. Like, I couldn't even start the live stream. I tried for about 40 minutes, and then I just gave up on it because we were going to have to start the full race live stream like within an hour, so I knew I wasn't going to get the episode done in time. I wanted to start the race as scheduled, so I had to kind of postpone my plans there. Yeah, it's just been really wacky since then for me. I mean, it was wacky before with the connection, but I've been actually getting kicked off the server multiple times now since Friday, and I never had that problem before Friday. It was just kind of laggy and fuzzy as far as the video quality, but the sound was usually there. So we're in the thick of lap traffic now, closer to the rear of the field for the time being. Gonna take it 3 wide into turn 3 on Austin Dillon and Ryan Preece. Again, we've got 4 fresh tires. Now definitely stayed out of the pits under that last caution, but I did notice of the drivers that were 1 and 2 laps down, there was a couple here and there that had also pitted. Probably the drivers you're seeing at the front or I should say that are, yeah, at the front of the drivers that are one lap down. Chase Elliott's up to 4th. Really haven't seen him in the top 10 much. He's been running just outside that for most of the race. So now he's currently sitting in a free pass spot just ahead of his teammate Alex Bowman in the 88. Yeah, see, that's another thing too. I checked mine the last race that had gone out on me. We actually ran pretty well last night, never had an issue with it, but wasn't the Brickyard on Sunday. It must have been Saturday. I think Friday, Saturday, and today were the 3 days that I was really having troubles with it. So I want to say it was Saturday, I think. When it booted me off the first time, I checked my signal strength before I started the next stream during that same race, and it said my signal strength was at 100. So, like, I mean, there's literally nothing I could do about it. I don't know if you guys have actually tried to play online at all either since then. I usually don't play online, but I have a friend of mine that if I do play online, I usually play online with him, and we just basically haven't done it for the last month just because of how bad both of our internet is lagging. Like, it's not just me, it's like for both of us, it's lagging so bad that we just stopped playing it because, like, you kind of try not to take it seriously, but when it lags as bad as it was lagging, we just couldn't play it anymore, so I haven't played online since. "33 laps to go here in stage 2. And Kurt Busch is reeling in Keselowski quite a bit even. Kurt's only 4 seconds behind him now, as we have about a 12.5 second lead. If we stay green to the end of the stage at this rate with them being on older tires, we should be able to catch him and put him a lap down, you would think. Yeah, and honestly, maybe, I mean, I don't usually play online, so you guys won't see that much on the channel. But maybe when I'm on the road to wherever my next racetrack is, we'll do a live stream while I'm at a hotel or something, because I'm not going to be able to get a full race live stream out while I'm on the road, but we can maybe do like an hour online session or something like that. Try to get as many people in as we can on the channel. Obviously, that's in the far future whenever we can get back to having fans at the track again, but I think that'd be kind of cool to have. It'll be like an on-the-road edition of me playing NASCAR Heat 4 on the YouTube channel. Martin Truex Jr. in danger of going 2 laps down now in 9th. So 1 lap down is possible to come back from. These guys going 2 laps down that are in the top 10 now, that is going to be very difficult to come back from. Usually 1 lap down you could get the wave around, you know, depending on the cautions. If you stay out of the pits and the leaders do come onto pit road and hope for another quick yellow, or you can get in a free pass position. But if you're 2 laps down, you can't do that. You're too far behind, and you really are just praying that maybe you could stay out long enough. For instance, with it being a short track in stage 3, we get through green flag stops, and all the lead lap cars pit, and you try to stay out a couple extra laps if you're 2 laps down to try and get them back that way is really about the only way you can come back from being that far down, especially as we're nearing the halfway point here tonight very shortly. Oh man, 3 wide with the lap traffic up ahead again, and there is Kurt Busch running the very outside lane into the side of the 41. Off the exit of the corner. We got really tight all of a sudden. made pretty harsh contact with the 41. Suarez having a pretty solid night. He ended up sneaking in to get some stage points in stage 1. He's running 7th here in stage 2. But yep, Kurt Busch about to go lap down in 3rd. He's trying to get away, but he's not going to last long as we take it 3 wide on him now. Into turn 3, we're going to clear him easily. And Brad Keselowski not all that far ahead of us as well with 23 to go yet in stage 2. I've got to say once again, I did not see this kind of a race coming out of our car. Oh, Larson goes around behind us. He was able to save it. Seemingly out of nowhere, just kind of saw that at the last second. It didn't look like anybody made contact with him, and they all missed him, so we stay green. Good save by Kyle Larson in the middle of the corner, too, drifting completely sideways for a moment. And it saved us for the time being as we try to put Keselowski down before we get a caution, if we do get one before the end of the stage. Hi, Ravish, how's it going? Keselowski still tucked behind, and now we're going to put a lap on the field. Just like we did at the end of stage 1, we're going to do it again here at the end of stage number 2. Still 20 to go, but things are looking good for us. Just very surprised we have led as many laps as we have in this one. Ravaged the race up to this point so far. It's been alright. I mean, at times, the very beginning of stage 2 is kind of interesting. We had a lot of guys get the lap back, hoping for a quick yellow that just never happened. You'll probably see that again here at the start of stage 3 too, but pretty much dominated the second half of stage 1 as we're dominating the second half here in stage 2. Very surprising by Richmond standards for me, because Richmond is probably my worst track on the game. You usually, if you guys have watched any, oh wow, the counter just shoved the 66 up the track. But yeah, if you guys have watched me race at Richmond in the past on full race live streams, whether it's the Xfinity or Cup Series, you'll know for sure that we usually don't perform all that well here. We did finish 3rd earlier in the season though, and looking for redemption with a possible win here tonight. And another reason why we lapped the field this time too is because we're on fresh tires versus everybody else. We pit under the one caution. We're the only driver on the lead lap that hit pit road during the only caution of this stage. So just hoping we stay green to the end of the stage and don't split the strategy here for my sake. Chase Elliott in 4th is about to go 2 laps down too. That would be huge if we get up to that many cars 2 laps down. Oh yeah, that was. I think that was I think the Bristol race you're talking about was the toughest season where we didn't have any cautions, and that's why we had so many drivers a lap down at Bristol. Or so many drivers that were that far back in the field a lap down, such as 7 laps down to 5th. But that race was pretty competitive for the most part with Keselowski and Kyle Busch until Kyle got taken out in his incident, and then Keselowski had and I caught up in problems of her own, but Keselowski definitely had the worst end of it that day. I got tight 3 wide. David Reagan, Daniel Hemrick around us now. So we're going to get on by. 9 laps to go in stage 2. Caution. So caution is going to fly right at the end of stage 2 with 9 to go. Kurt Busch is going to get the free pass in second. Keselowski actually fell back to third. So Kurt Busch will get the free pass. We're going to hit pit road for 4 fresh tires as everybody else is here. Or at least seemingly everybody else is. And it looks like, yeah, Chase Elliott took the wave around. That was smart of him there to get one of his laps back. He's going to get a quick caution at the end of the stage as well. He could pit there, so very good strategy by Chase. He's not going to fall another lap down here, and the green flag is back in the air at the end of stage 2. Only 5 laps to go in this stage, as we need to try and hold everybody behind us a lap down. If they can get their laps back before the end of the stage, they might have a shot, and Keselowski bumps us that time. And we're going to block him off. Keselowski gave us a bump going into 3, but he couldn't quite move us up the racetrack like he might have wanted to. Oh, he almost did it again, and look at Kyle Busch around the outside trying to get one of his laps back. 3 to go at the line. Just trying to hold on as best as we can, driving it in deep. Can't quite get around him that time. Keselowski still right behind us, and now Clint Boyer closing the gap. He gets to the outside of Keselowski. And Kyle Busch with a really great pass. Busch has gotten one of his laps back around the outside on us. Only 2 to go now. Keselowski's still stuck. Brad's in the free spot, or the free pass position, but if he can get his lap back, he can restart at the front of the field with me and Kurt Busch at the start of the next stage. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Can he do it? He might get there. He will. Keselowski is there. Driving it in deep into turn 3, but we are nowhere close to get him. We're just going to try to hold Boyer back now behind us as we win stage 2. Ryan Blaney. So Ryan Blaney wins stage 2 here tonight at Richmond. Kurt Busch, Keselowski both got on the lead lap there. Chase Elliott will get the free pass. And Kyle Busch also got one of his laps back. So he is going to be the only driver 1 lap down in 5th. So just like that, with the caution coming out at the end of the last stage, that's going to allow quite a few drivers to restart right up near us. At least 3 of them. And then, like I said, Elliott will be back. It looks like the lead lap cars are going to pit. So that's going to allow Kyle Busch to take the wave around now. He'll be back on the lead lap too. Boyer, Bowman, Harvick, Suarez, Truex, they're all only going to be 1 lap down, fighting for the free pass spot now. So strategy has been split like crazy at this point in the race. Here we go, green flag back in the air. 3rd and final stage underway at Richmond here tonight. Who will win the race? And if we can't get the victory here tonight, who will lock themselves into the round of 12, assuming it's a playoff driver, which, by the way things have shaped up so far tonight, we've seen pretty much nothing but playoff drivers inside the top 10. Saw Daniel Hemrick at times up here, but that's been about it. And he hasn't been up near the front in a while. Kurt Busch looking for the lead. Can he pull the same move that his younger brother Kyle did on us to get one of his laps back? Looking for it, can't get it, and now Eric Jones is going to get one of his laps back on the bottom, perhaps. Hasn't cleared us yet. But now he will as we just try to hold the bottom. Right behind Eric Jones. Bubba Wallace in the picture. Where did Bubba Wallace come from? Trying to get one of his laps back. Keselowski just kind of tucked in right behind him and Kurt Busch with nowhere to go but to sit and wait as we continue to lead here tonight at Richmond. Oh man, really loose there for a second off of turn 2. Still holding right alongside the 20. And now Keselowski moves to the top side right behind Kurt Busch. Kurt got a great run off the exit of the corner. We're going to stay alongside the 20 for now. Kurt, look. Now he gets to the inside of Eric Jones and tries to follow us right on past him. As we clear Jones off of turn 2, Kurt Busch now looking for the lead. He has cleared Eric Jones as well off of 4. And Byron has moved up in front of Keselowski, so Brad's still stuck behind a couple lap cars. Brad goes all the way to the top side now to get around Eric Jones, but instead he just lets Logano on through. And here comes Kurt Busch looking to the outside. Can't get it done that time. Joey Logano. He's got a great run. Look at Keselowski to hustle to the inside of Logano now. And out of nowhere, Keselowski might have a shot to get the lead in a couple laps. Closest battle we've seen for the lead in quite some time. Pretty much since about midway through stage 1. Keselowski can't quite clear the one of Kurt Busch that time off of 4. They're still side by side for second. And now Kurt is going to clear Keselowski. Brad maybe looking for a crossover move. Not going to get it. And in fact, Logano's going to get under the 2. And here comes Kurt. We slipped up the track just enough. Kurt Busch to the bottom for the lead. Clears us as we try to hold Logano back. Can't do it. We wash up the track again. Kurt Busch to the lead with 187 to go at Richmond here tonight. And now look at Keselowski trying to slide underneath Logano as we're getting freight trained. But luckily there's nobody right behind Brad. We'll just duck in line right behind him. And now Keselowski to the inside of Logano. Joey is at least 2 laps down at this point in the race. But he's definitely on fresh tires with the rest of us because he's holding on. And he does have a fast car because he did lead laps earlier in the race. He just got caught in lap traffic heavily in the last 2 stages. Now we're going to clear Logano off of turn 4. And now Brad going for the lead as Kurt Busch all the way to the top side. Brad is going to barely clear him off of 4. Almost made contact. Kurt checked up and we're going to try to go underneath Kurt. And Keselowski, a big run into 1 and 2. Trying to get 2 for 1 special through turns 1 and 2. Going for the lead into 3 now. Washing up the track a little bit more. Kurt to the bottom. We are 3 wide for the lead at Richmond as we beat him to the line. This is going to get tight into turn 1. Somehow nobody made contact. Great battle going on. Now to the inside of Kurt Busch again. Driving it in deep into turn 3 and 4. Neck and neck. Trying to hold off the 2 behind us. And again, we beat both of them back to the line. All clear going into turn 1. Keselowski looking to the inside of Kurt again. Couldn't get him that time. Lap traffic closing in a couple laps. It has been a great battle so far since the start of Stage 3. Kurt and Keselowski still side by side for second behind us. Their battle has picked up intensely, which has allowed us to pull away from both of them. Kurt now back to second again, as we are going to hit our first lap car of the final stage of the race. Now Brad back to second again. Just going back and forth with Kurt Busch. It seems like every lap Kurt now caught behind Brendan Gaughan and Joey Logano. And Keselowski pulls him a little bit into turns 1 and 2. And thankfully a lot of these lap cars ahead of us seemingly are running the top side of the track, which will give us a ton of room to get around them on the bottom. And now they all moved to the bottom after they all ran the top last time. Sure enough, right as we get close to them. Only about a 2-second lead on Keselowski still. We are slightly pulling away at this point in the run, but we are definitely not pulling away by a lot. I think it's mainly just us getting through the lap traffic a lot quicker than those guys. Again though, even on the short runs, we can hang in there. Haven't seen many races this season where that has been the case, but it was the case in Vegas last night, and it's the case here tonight as well. And again, here at Richmond, arguably our worst track, it's not looking like that at all tonight. We'll alternate through the cameras one final time here tonight. 172 to go at the line still. So this is a unique stretch of the season as well, where we are running 750 horsepower for 3 races in a row. And then we're going to be running high speeds at Talladega after that 3-race stretch as well. Even though we've got the 550 horsepower back, the draft obviously, and the taller rear spoiler going to allow us to run speeds averaging over 200 miles per hour over the course of that race. But yeah, you got Richmond, the Roval, Dover, Talladega, a lot of good races in the playoffs that are going to be coming up on the channel this week. As we will, by the end of the week, conclude this round of 16, the opening round of the playoffs as well. We're going to run all the way through the round of 12, leading up to next week, finishing the final 4 races of the season in hope of getting Ryan Blaney his first career championship. Now obviously we'll have a couple races in there. We got 3 races scheduled for the week for the toughest season in NASCAR video game history as well. That will all be concluded by Sunday. And we'll get the next schedule up for streaming next week, and we'll start it all over again. I'm not gonna lie, as tired as I was when I woke up this morning, for about the first like half hour or so of being awake, I was like, man, this is gonna be a long day as it is. And it's going to be tough for me to stream tonight, but I was going to make sure I got it done. And I honestly started waking up quite a bit once I got home from work. So that was pretty much perfect. And I kind of played out, and now we're loose all of a sudden. Sideways and onto pit road. Unbelievable. What a huge turn of events here at Richmond. We made a great save. But it is going to cost us valuable time sliding on a pit road, and we might have gotten caught for speeding as well in the process of all that. Unbelievable. Yep, we got caught for speeding because we're going to be on pit road for 30 plus seconds. What an unbelievable turn of events here at Richmond. Yep, we're definitely taking 4 tires while we're on it. But that was not as planned, and we are easily going to probably go 2 laps down now because of the speeding penalty. We're going to go 1 anyway, just for pitting, but 2 probably because of the speeding penalty. Yep, we are 2 laps down. This is going to be tough to come back from. What a turn of events. Things were looking so good tonight, and I knew it was too good to be true for Richmond standards. It's so late in the race, too. We're already past halfway. We're in the final stage, which is going to hurt our chances even more. 162 laps left still, but 162 laps at Richmond. They're going to fly by. You can get about 3 laps in a minute or so here. Now the good news is we've got 4 fresh tires versus the rest of the field by roughly 35 laps. So not a lot of laps. Actually 35 to 40, probably closer to 40 means we're 2 laps down. And we had those caution laps at the start of the stage, of course, too. Yeah, we just got real loose through turns 3 and 4 because they got the left side tires a little bit down too low on the apron. It just sent us too far sideways. Again, we made a great save. Kind of clipped the inside wall a little bit, but not heavy damage at all. But the fact that we were speeding on top of it and on pit road, kind of got double whammied there, because we're still, that's the one thing that's also bad about pitting there, is because originally at the start of the stage it was going to be a 1-stop race to the finish. Could have split the stage roughly in about half and made it on 1 stop. The problem is with us pitting that early, we're still going to have to stop 1 more time. So although we have a tire advantage right now, that's just going to give everybody else a tire advantage the next time. Or we pit at the same time as them, which is probably going to have to be the case. But then we're accepting that we're going to basically have to outdrive them for that final stint by over a lap. Well over a lap. About to get 1 of our laps back here on Kurt Busch, but if we can come back from 2 laps down to win this race, that would be something. Especially with everybody having the same amount of stops left of just having to make 1. But we've got to run a near perfect race from here on out. Got a mighty long win streak coming into this race too. That really just came out of left field. Diving it to the bottom, trying to get one of our laps back quick just in case we get a caution. And just like that, we are one lap down, currently on the racetrack. A long ways to go to get back to the lead. Practically 2 whole laps to make up just to get in front. And it might take the rest of the race, and even then, it might not even be enough. We're going to spend most of our time playing catch-up here for sure. Just got to hope that lap traffic cooperates with us as much as possible, and that lap traffic kind of slows them down in return. We are back into the top 10 and 9th though. Positions-wise, we only fell back to 11th despite falling towards the end of stage 2. Obviously, the way the caution played out, a lot of them were able to get a lap back or so. And some of them got both of their laps back if they were 2 laps down, because they stayed out there and then they stayed out again at the end of the stage. Well, contact with Daniel Hemrick off the exit of turn 4. Yeah, we're pushing this car as hard as we can right now. So you can see off of turn 2, we even got really loose again. Oh, Hemrick almost put the bumper to us coming right back. Into turn 3, he got checked up in time though. Didn't think he was going to get anywhere close to us that time, but he definitely did. Oh wow, McMurray just shot way up the track in front of Byron. They are 3 wide now. We tried to go, oh man, it looked like we were going to go up the middle, but and the door closed on us. Now we're going 3 wide to the bottom instead. Trying to get around these lap cars ASAP. Sure enough, though, that I have probably one of the better Richmond cars I've probably ever had on this game, and we might have cost ourselves the win with the speeding penalty and accidentally hitting pit road. All in one. Kevin Harvick Not too much further ahead, about 1.5 seconds and 3 seconds back of Martin Truex Jr. right now as well. If we could just get into the free pass position, not sure exactly how many cars are on the lead lap now. I would have to imagine there are 4 drivers on the lead lap, I believe. I'm not sure who's in 5th. But if there are 4 drivers on the lead lap, we'll need to get to 5th place to get in the free pass position. Here's Harvick for 7th now, just in front of us. Oh wow, and he goes up the middle there on McDowell, not giving us a lot of room. Got the bumper out in front at the line, and we're going to clear him easily now down the front straightaway. And Clint Boyer's in the free pass spot, not too far ahead of us. Right in front of Truex, in fact. Truex closes the gap on him now, looking to the inside. And Boyer's going to throw the block on him for now. Truex just battling all over the place. Now we get to the inside of both of them. Trying to get to the free pass position quickly from 7th to 6th in about a set of 1 corner. And now Boyer trying to come back at us again. Tight. Little contact with Eric Jones that slows us down. Boyer fighting back. Barely clearing him though into turn 1. Again up to 5th. Now we are the first driver 1 lap down. So if the caution comes out, we'll get the free pass. We'd have to restart at the rear of the field, but at least we'd be back on the lead lap. About as good as we could have gotten around all 5 of those lap cars there. Didn't take us a lot of time. Again, we're booking it right now on 4 fresh tires. There's a chance we can get back onto the lead lap before everybody has to hit pit road. That's still an entire lap when we'll be on equal tires instead of 4 fresh tires to try and get all the way back to the lead again. But not impossible. Yeah, the leaders. That would be the best thing that could happen for us, and the quickest way we can get back in the hunt for trying to battle for the lead, at least off that following restart if that were to happen. Again, though, we've only had 3 cautions per incident today, and we have not had a caution per incident yet in this final stage, which we have run roughly 75 laps, so this is the longest green flag run of the race so far. Actually, the longest green flag run, if you don't want to count the stage breaks, is about 100 laps. from the first caution of the race on lap 40 to about lap 140 when we had our second caution for incident. Kyle Busch is taking the race lead. Unbelievable. Where has Kyle Busch come from here today? He was 2 laps down at one point in time. Don't forget. He's able to take the wave around at the stage break after pitting at the end of the first stage. Before that, got one of his laps back, and then that's why he took the wave around beyond that point. Only had about 5 lap older tires than the leaders, and he has ran from the rear of the field all the way to the front from the start of this stage. Took him almost a little under 80 laps, but he finally got up there. But on a short track, that's not bad at all. It'd be tough to pass. Constantly having to deal with traffic. Kyle Busch not too much further ahead of us. Car in the wall. Tyler Reddick in turns 3 and 4. Oh man, it looks like he might have taken out Kurt Busch too. Just in front of us, but we're in the free pass position, but we were so close to getting our lap back. Caution is out though. With 120 to go, it's our 4th of the race. We're going to have to pit for 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. So at least we get our lap back, but the problem is we'll have to restart at the rear of the field. And we're going to get put like right at the edge of the pit window as well. So here we go. Green flag in the air. Again, restarting at the rear of the field. Everybody on fresh tires. Kyle Busch leads the field to the green. Reddick is still in the race. He's okay. Still only 2 cars off the racetrack as we all check up into turns 1 and 2. We got the car to break in time. Well, we've got a long ways to go from this point to try and get back to the lead, but we are at least on the lead lap. And everybody has to pit one more time before the end of the race because we weren't quite at our fuel window. We are roughly 7 laps short on fuel. 7 laps is savable at Richmond. If we go green the rest of the way, is there going to be anybody that can save fuel enough to make it to the end? That'll be interesting to see because we are going to be close. We might have a fuel mileage race here tonight if we don't get another caution. And only 4 cautions so far tonight, so we have not had a lot, especially for short track. Oh, barely trying to squeeze under McDowell and Ryan Truex here towards the rear of the field, 3 wide. About like the start of the race when we had to start back at 31st after a poor qualifying effort. Basically tailor-made from the start of the race, only instead of a 100 lap dash to the end of a stage, it's going to be a 116 lap dash to the finish, assuming we stay green. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. But Kyle Busch leading his first laps of the race. Very interesting to say the least. We have not wrecked tonight though, so we have definitely kept the car clean for the most part. A little bit of contact here and there, but that's just typical short track racing at its finest. Oh man, slid up the track right in front of Ty Dillon. He's going to try to cross us back over. Hopefully we have him cleared into turn 3, and we will. So we don't have to battle him too hard. And now Brad Keselowski is taking the lead. So Keselowski back out in front as he has passed Kyle Busch now. Pull up right in front of Chris Buescher, going to clear him, going to block him off. He's not going to be able to attempt any sort of crossover move off of 4 that time. Every clean pass we can make, even through the lap traffic, going to help us out that much more, especially with Keselowski having clean air right now until he finds the lap traffic towards the rear of the field. Which will still probably be, if I had to guess, another 3 to 5 laps at least. Almirola Menard right around us, going to clear him. Oh man, loose again. Just under a half a track behind Keselowski as we are 9 seconds off the race lead. Furthest back we had been off a restart was at the initial start of the race. We fell back to about 10 seconds off the lead before we started to close in. We're still losing time to Keselowski though. So now we're closer to 9.5 seconds back. We'll have 100 laps to go at the line this next time, which will mark 300 laps completed, and which will also mark 3/4 of the way through this race here tonight. So there it is. 300 laps down, 100 laps to go to decide the winner here at Richmond. Trying to come from 2 laps down off the pit road speeding penalty earlier in stage 3. When we took a slide, we were able to make the save, but we had to go down pit road. And with speeding, it costed us not just the 1 lap of the field. We were able to get one of our laps back quickly. Took us a while. We were catching up to Kyle Busch to get our 2nd lap back, but a caution came out. Luckily, we were in the free pass position, so we had to restart at the rear of the field. And that is why you see us right in the middle of the pack now, roughly a half track behind Keselowski, trying to catch up to the leaders, if at all possible. We are about 7 laps outside the pit window and might have a fuel mileage race to the end if we can back it up enough and save enough fuel to the finish. So far, we have saved 2 laps already, and we are only 5 laps into which we have to save to make it to the end instead of 7. So we are going in the right direction. 7 laps on a short track is a lot easier to save than any other kind of racetrack. Speaking that the track is this short, only 3/4 of a mile per lap here at Richmond. A lot better than, say, if you were to have to save fuel at like a Michigan or even any traditional 1.5-mile racetrack. Twice as long. So in all reality, we only have to save 3.75 miles. Oh man, Cody Ware just kind of blocking us off there. Grant's still leading. We're up to 4th though. And I guess the only good news you could say about us having that incident early in stage 3 is that at least it happened in the final stage to where we were able to win the first 2 stages first before having to play catch up. And luckily we still had about 160 to go when it happened, that we definitely had time to come back. That's why you see us on the lead lap late in the race here. We are catching Kurt Busch quite a bit too. Kurt missed his corner, went high. We've got a heck of a run coming. With 92 to go, we are closing in on Kurt Busch for 3rd. What a comeback to this point. Just now seeing that we have 3 drivers out of the race. Kurt just ran in the back of the 51, it looked like, getting into the corner. That's going to allow us to get underneath him. And up to 3rd. So I did see Daniel Hemrick is out of the race now as well. So he is the 3rd driver out of the race as Kurt tries to get down to the bottom again. Trying to clear him to the inside into 3. We will. Now we'll contact Ryan Truex that holds us up again. Kurt Busch trying to close the gap. He is right behind us looking for his 3rd position back on the track. We are 3.5 seconds back of Kyle Busch for 2nd and still about 7 seconds off the lead of Keselowski. But it is not impossible by any means at this point in the race. And we're saving fuel in the process, even though we're running hard to try and catch these guys. Of course, even if we make it on fuel, then you got to wonder, is the right front tire going to make it all the way to the end? Certainly doing an alright job there, trying to save it. 88 to go. Now only about 2 seconds back of Kyle Busch and 5.5 seconds off the lead of Keselowski. Kind of caught Larson and Ty Dillon in a bad spot there. Wonder if you might see anybody try to short pit just in case they can't make it to the end, or will everybody try to stretch it in hopes of lasting all the way? Man, let me tell you, it's going to be close. So we have saved about another lap. We are now about 4 laps left in which we have to save. So we have saved 3 laps on this run already. Trying to make it to the end. Looks like Kyle Busch has reeled in Keselowski now. Keselowski only about 3 seconds ahead of us, and Kyle Busch still roughly 2 seconds ahead. Kyle Busch only a second off the lead. Kyle trying not to give up hope either. And now it looks like only 2-lap cars separate him into two. We've got a big run also. We're about to have a 3-car battle for the lead very shortly here at Richmond. In the midst of all of us trying to save fuel to the end, 3 wide underneath the 10 and 52, a little loose off of 2. And Busch has caught him now. Kyle Busch to the inside, 3 wide for the lead up in front with the lap traffic. We got a big run off of turn number 4. Now 3 wide to the bottom. 18 in the middle, 2 on the top, Blaney on the bottom. What a move, possibly a move of the race. Ryan Blaney back out in front again here at Richmond, officially at the line this time. Unbelievable. We will have 77 laps to go. Sorry, 78 laps to go at the line. Penske running 1-2. Blaney back out in front for the first time in almost 100 laps. We have came back. The caution played its way perfectly with us getting the free pass. After getting one of our laps back with the fresh tires under green. From 2 laps down, back to the lead again, but also, like we have mentioned, can we make it unfueled to the end of the race? We are saving just by the way we are running right now. We were 7 laps short at the start of the run. We are now only 3 laps short. That's unbelievable. We have saved 4 laps of fuel in the first 40 laps of this green flag run just by flat out racing and trying to catch the leaders as quick as possible before we even think about backing off. So now that we have gotten back to the lead, it is a fuel mileage race for the final 75 laps here at Richmond. And let me tell you, these laps are going to fly by. It won't be too long before we figure out who's going to win this one. And if we don't get the win, who's going to be the next driver to lock themselves into the round of 12 in the playoffs? Kyle Busch. He's done a great job over the course of the day. Keselowski's been up front and has led the 2nd most laps in this race behind us. Kurt Busch probably led the 3rd most laps of this race behind Keselowski. And Chase Elliott in 5th, quite a ways behind, but you never know. Maybe him being that far back, he's saving more fuel than everybody else, and maybe he could make it to the end. That's the thing, even with it being with this being a short track, even if you were to pit gas and go only, you could still go a lap down. Depending on where you're at on the track, if you do have to make that extra stop at the finish. And somebody else might be able to make it. So even if Chase Elliott does fall a lap down, he could probably still make it on fuel, and everybody else can pit, even just for fuel only, and he could nab the win here tonight. You know, after thinking about it a little more, I think Chase Elliott actually won this Richmond race earlier this season. He finished 13th in the regular season point standings, but he did get a win to get in earlier in the year, and I believe it was here at Richmond. We really haven't had any fuel mileage races this season. This would be the first if we have to go all the way to the finish. Now we're only about 2 laps short on fuel. Yeah, we're saving now. We are saving quite a bit. Now it's just a matter of will the right front tire be able to make it as well. Because even if we save enough fuel, those tires have to make it. And if we have to pit for 2 tires instead of just fuel only, that's going to cost us roughly about another 8 to 10 seconds. if everybody else can make it. Definitely a lot on the line here. I guarantee if we get another caution too, everybody's going to hit pit road for sure. Take 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel. We're going to have a sprint to the finish, and we don't necessarily have the fastest car on the short run. We can hang with the leaders on the short run, but it will definitely be a dogfight to the end if that's the case. So you're expecting a good finish, whether it's us just trying to survive on fuel with a somewhat decent sized lead, or a last little shootout to the very end. Gotta be careful! We slide again! And just like earlier, speeding onto pit road, that's the second time tonight. But this time with just over 60 to go, that might be the nail in the coffin for us trying to win this race. Unbelievable. Might as well fill it up and take 4 tires now. Luckily, we weren't speeding that time, though. We got very lucky we were not speeding that time on pit road like the first time. So we're only going to lose 1 lap instead of 2. But we're probably going to need a caution if we're going to want to get back into this. Kyle Busch is now taking the lead. And for the second time today, we made the mistake of sliding onto pit road. But again, luckily we never hit anything to give ourselves heavy damage that we had to repair at the same time. We were able to make a save without wrecking, but that'll drop us back to 8th, 1 lap down. Not far behind Bowman, but now we have 4 fresh tires. And now that we know we can make it to the end and not have to save, it's still a fuel mileage race for everybody else. But now it's just time for us to run them back down again. It's amazing how things just keep turning for the worst for us. Goes to show our bad luck at Richmond might continue. And if we do get a caution, hopefully we can at least get on the lead lap first, so we can restart towards the front of the field with the rest of them. But we'll have to hit pit road again if a caution comes out, even though we just did, because then everybody else is going to have fresher tires at the end of the race. We'd stay out if we aren't in the free pass position, so that way we'd have to take the wave around to get our lap back. That'd be the only way we'd stay out under a last caution. Still about a lap and a third behind total. But if they can't make it to the end, that might help us win with gaining so much time on 4 fresh tires. But at the same time, with us taking a 4 tire stop, they would likely only take fuel only if they did have to come onto pit road. Their stop would be a lot quicker than ours was. So many factors that go into this race. There were so many that were going to go into the finish regardless if we spun onto pit road or not, but now it just makes it that much more difficult for us. Just having to push the limits here all the way to the finish. Kyle Busch on the bubble. He was +7 coming into this race today. He scored a lot of stage points in both stages. But now he is leading the race with a shot to win it and advance to the next round without having to worry about the Roval coming up on Thursday. Oh, barely sliding under Jamie McMurray. That got close. So, I believe Martin Truex Jr. is in the free pass position right now, so if we could just get around him for 5th very soon, at least we'd be in the free pass spot. Looking to his outside. Got a good run off the exit of the corner. We're there. We're going to clear him into turn 1. Keep him from getting under us. We hit our marks perfect that time. So we are in the free pass spot. We're only about 6.5 seconds behind Chase Elliott, but I believe Chase, for the moment, is still on the lead lap. But we got to hustle just in case he does go a lap down before we can get our lap back. And Kyle Busch still a little ways ahead of us. We've caught second place Keselowski. Brad has lost a lot of ground now for Kyle Busch. Busch could probably save a little bit more fuel now. 49 to go. But 48 for the race leader. Really just want to get back on the lead lap. That is going to be the first thing we're going to have happen. But we got a long ways to go to try and catch him a second time to win this race. Caution. Right before we get our lap back, caution is out. It looks like they're going to try to stay out and save fuel under caution now. That might help them make it. If they were saving as much as I was before we got onto pit road. So caution is out. We got the free pass, so we're going to hit the pits again. Repair any damage we've got. 4 fresh tires, but we'll have to restart at the rear of the field. We were so close to getting our lap back, just like earlier in the race when we were in a similar situation. So here we go. Green flag is back in the air once again. Now time to drive from the rear of the field to the front. 42 laps to go. But again, we are on 4 fresh tires. Everybody else on old as we were able to pit with the free pass. Very shocked all the leaders stayed out. But now will we even go green to the end of the race, or will we get another caution? Because if we go to overtime, will they be able to make it on fuel then? We still don't know if they can make it on fuel now. You can only assume. They're still stretching that tank well past its limit. Whether there was caution laps there or not. We're just kind of driving through this field down to the bottom now. 3 wide, slicing and dicing. 40 to go. Driving it in deep now into turn 1 to the inside of Larson. Ty Dillon almost got pinched off there, barely slid under him. Yeah, we're cutting through this field pretty good. Kurt Busch is now in the lead. Wow. Yeah, we're getting through this field a lot quicker than what I thought, but again, that goes to show how much the fresh tires are helping. And luckily, we were in the free pass position that we were able to do that. Probably try to use Bowman as a pick. Not anymore. Bowman pulls down right in front of the 18 as we close in on the leaders up ahead. Kyle now to the lead. Off of turn 2, looking to the outside to get around Bowman. Almost slid it onto pit road again. Contact from behind from Truex. That was a close call. 36 to go. It's going to loosen this car up quite a bit now, as if it wasn't loose already. Just with the setup alone, luckily we still have fresh tires for now. As the laps wind on, the handling's going to go away. Keselowski now to the lead. To the inside for second on Kyle Busch. Big run. Trying to go to the top side. Trying to come back again. Keselowski still in the lead. 34 to go. Going to drive it in deep into turn 1 on our teammate. Blaney on the fresh tires is out in front of the field. Driving it loose off of turn 2. That rear bumper damage is definitely causing us to have quite a bit of trouble. 33 laps to go as Ryan Blaney officially takes the lead at the line again. Now just trying to hold on and hope that we stay green to the finish. Again, we've got the 4 fresh tires. Adele, welcome back for the finish of the race. Just in time. It has been a wild one so far. Can the leaders make it on fuel? We're plenty good because we pitted under that last caution. Nearing on the lap traffic very soon. $30 to go. Oh man, really loose all of a sudden, man, and around we go. Into the inside wall, trying to get things going again. Caution is out. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Just got loose off of turn 2. Almost overcorrected it, and then overcorrected it back to the left. Luckily, it's only strike 1 for us, and that might help the leaders save fuel again to the finish. Yeah, we got to pit because of the damage. We still have a tire advantage on these guys, though, so that's going to be all right. We'll just have to hustle around them on the restart. And Alex Bowman will get the free pass in 6th. Brad Keselowski will lead the field to the green. Our first well, not our first major mistake, I guess, but our first wreck of the race. And the green flag is back in the air again. We got a great jump on the restart. Taking it to the bottom. 3 wide for the lead into turn 1. On Keselowski, what a power move to get back to the lead again. Luckily, there were only 6 drivers on the lead lap that we didn't have to start way back at the rear of the field. Keselowski into second. The 3 wide pass for the lead on the restart. 25 to go. We're back out in front again. Yeah, that worked out all right for us. Again, we still had fresh tires from the pits. And exactly, Adele, it's a good thing that we were able to lap all those guys at the end of stage 2. Over 200 laps ago in this race. for that very reason, that there were not many cars on the lead lap because of it. Because if we didn't do that, that would have been a lot different scenario there after that accident. Would have had to come back from the rear again. Now we just got to keep the car steady. We've got the damage repaired. Holden, how's it going? Almost to the conclusion, 22 to go. We just took the lead off the restart again, just hoping we stay green. The leaders needed probably, oh man, got loose again there off of turn 2. Driving it hard, we can dial it back down again. We've got a faster car at this point in the race. Kind of got to just take it easy to the finish. We've got 4 drivers who have DNF'd in this one. Not sure who the 4th driver is. I know Corey LaJoy, Landon Castle, and Daniel Hemrick are all out of the race. Oh, that looked like Bragg. No, I don't think it was Keselowski. No, Keselowski's 3rd. It was Matt Tifft. I was going to say, I saw the white car down there. So Matt Tifft is the other driver that is DNF'd in this one as well. Yeah, exactly. We don't have to go hard at the finish. We can take it easy. We got 19 to go. Definitely want to get to that white flag, but it's just a matter of hoping for now. And if we get there, we just got to hope that they don't pit behind us. They haven't pit the last couple cautions, which I'm surprised because they are right on the edge of the pit window. But I think having those 2 cautions later in this race have kind of helped them. That was 7 laps. They've been able to save fuel. And remember, oh man, it got loose again. $17 to go. Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch battling it out right now for 2nd. Keselowski not far behind in 4th. And you got a couple seconds back to Clint Boyer in 5th. So what happened was we ended up falling 2 laps down earlier in the race because we had gotten the left side tires on the apron while we were leading with about 160 to go or so. And it spun onto pit road, so we got caught for speeding and we had to make an unscheduled stop. So we fell 2 laps down. So I took 4 fresh tires. We were able to get one of our laps back because of the tires. Then we got the free pass because the caution came out, luckily. While we were in the free pass position, we got back on the lead lap. We had to restart at the rear of the field. We got to the lead. Then the same thing happened again where we spun onto pit road. Saved it again. But that time we did get caught for speeding. We had the car back down in time, so we only fell 1 lap down. Got another caution with the free pass. Drove from the rear of the field back to the front, and that's where you see us right now. So it's just crazy how things have turned in this topsy-turvy final 160 laps of this race. I'm just glad both times we went sliding sideways, we were able to save it. Although we had to go onto pit road to save it, but it's going to turn out for us in the end. At least we're in position to win still. As long as we stay green to the end. It looks like Bowman's going to go another lap down right now, or a lap down once again. Yeah, for sure. A lot of things definitely happened. Final 160 laps of the race. All in a short amount of time, too, because these laps don't take long around Richmond. It just all happened so quick, and we got lucky enough that the cautions played out in our favor. that we got the free pass both times. I think we could have still came back from the first one because we were gaining a lot of ground on the fresh tires. But once it happened the second time, we were lucky enough that we had that incident. 9 laps to go at the line. We have an 11.5-second lead on Kurt Busch. All those guys are very close to the end on fuel. They were 7 laps outside the pit window, but they have gotten 3 cautions now. Or sorry, 2 cautions in that time frame for 7 laps under caution. So they are going to be right on the bubble. We might see guys running out of fuel at the end of the race, which could possibly cause a caution. So I'm hoping everybody can make it for that matter. Alright, Adele, thanks, and hopefully we see you again tomorrow night for the Coke 600 full race live stream. As soon as this race is done, of course, after we look at the results, we'll have to look at what the playoff standings are going to look like going into the cutoff race at the Roval on Thursday. Of course, that'll be the final race of the first round of the playoffs. We'll have 4 drivers eliminated from the playoffs, and we'll cut the field from 16 to 12 after the race at the Charlotte Roval. 5 laps to go now here at Richmond. Clint Boyer is going to go a lap down now. Again, just hoping we can make it to the finish under green, or at least to the white flag. So if a caution comes out, the race would be over from that point. Four to go. Keselowski back to 4th. He might go a lap down before the end of this race too. 3 to go. Caution comes out from this point on. We go to overtime. We're going to come off a turn 4, 2 laps left. 3/4 of a mile away from the white flag. Just a half a lap away. And we're going to get there. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. Trying to win the first 2 races of the playoffs. Both of them had challenges throughout the course of the race at times. This one probably more challenging at the finish compared to the last one. But we're going to overcome the odds. And off of turn 4, one final time here on lap 400. Ryan Blaney will win at Richmond, winning the first 2 races of the playoffs in the round of 16. Great start to the postseason, nabbing 7 more playoff points again today, winning both stages and the race. That 3rd stage was definitely by far the hardest to come by in this one compared to the first 2. Oh yeah, we burnt that engine out pretty bad now. Still trying to give it a smoke show. It's pretty much toast. Take a look at the race analysis over the course of this one today. Again, we won both stages and the race. 2 hours, 22 minutes total time on the race here tonight. Kurt Busch finished 2nd, Kyle Busch 3rd. Only 3 drivers finished on the lead lap at the end of the race. Keselowski 4th, first driver 1 lap down. Boyer 5th, Bowman 6th. Truex on back, at least 2 laps down. 7th is where Truex finished. Chase Elliott 8th, Denny Hamlin 9th, and Kevin Harvick rounds out the top 10. He finished 3 laps down there. Again, we'll take a look at your DNFs. I believe 4 drivers DNF'd in today's race. Yep, and as stated earlier, Matt Tiff, Daniel Hemrick, Landon Castle, and Corey LaJoy all finished a lap down. Notable playoff finishers that did not have, or playoff drivers that did not have good finishes in this race. All of them at least finished in the top 20. Almirola, the worst of them, finishing 19th. Not a good first 2 races for him in the playoffs. And then you got DiBenedetto and Newman, who finished outside the top 10. Suarez as well, Eric Jones, Joey Logano, who had a good race early, but despite getting stage points in stage 1, couldn't do anything else. So let's take a look at the playoff standings now. Right on the bubble, we have a tie between Ryan Newman and Daniel Suarez going into the Roval, with Eric Jones only 2 points back as well. Joey Logano, after a rough race today, only 7 points to the good. Even Boyer and Kyle Busch are still in the thick of things. Boyer only plus 17 and Kyle Busch only plus 20. Eric Almirola, minus 23. He needs either a really solid points day or he might have to just win to get in at the Roval. And DiBenedetto, he's ran good on the first 2 road courses this year, finished top 5 in both of them. Maybe he'll have a shot to run well at the Roval. He could overcome 13 points, but if not, he'll have to win also. So very interesting playoff bubble going into the Roval. That race is on Thursday, as there is Ryan Blaney in victory lane for the Federated Auto Parts 400 at Richmond here tonight. Logano had the fastest lap. It was early in the race, 20.549. We led the most laps, 226 of the 400 laps led here in tonight's race. Again, started 30th, qualified 31st. Poor qualifying effort, but it all worked out in the end, and Daniel Hemrick had the tough break, started 23rd. He DNF'd, finished 38th. He was running in the top 5 back in stage 2 at one point in time also. So that is going to be it for this one. As always, hit the subscribe button for more daily NASCAR content. Hit the bell notification icon so you guys never miss an upload. And hit the like button if you enjoyed today's race commentary, the video in general. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Again, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, p.m. at that, for the Coke 600 for the next race on our toughest season in NASCAR video game history. That will be the next full race live stream. I hope to see you guys then. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.